Hi there, it's Renee Chudkowski, and I have one more recipe for our appetizer version. I love this recipe, and I made it the other day and took it someplace, and didn't even think about putting it in the contest until everybody started raving about it, and then I thought, I better put this in the contest. So I call it Sushi Bites, and this is for people who have been tossing around giving sushi a try, making it, but are a little intimidated by the rolling and the cutting and the dicing and that type of thing. So this is a super easy version. I actually call them Sushi Bites, and it uses Philadelphia cream cheese with wasabi as the spice mixture. So a couple little things about sushi. When I teach cooking classes, I like to tell people a little bit about the foods that they're eating. And the term sushi, or the word sushi, actually refers to seasoned rice. And the raw fish version, or the raw fish part, is actually called sashimi or sashimi, depending on what part of the world you're from. And when you mix the two together, you make up different kinds of rolls and such. So that's just a little 411 about that. To put these together, it's actually quite easy, and I did a little bit of the prep work ahead of time. My husband and I haven't quite gotten into the editing part of it yet, so we do these videos in one fell swoop. So, well, come on down here and you can take a peek. This is a piece of ahi or yellowfin tuna. It's a sushi grade that you can buy at most fish markets, and it's a that probably runs $8 or $9 a pound, but you really only need 3 to 4 ounces to make a pretty good bit. So what I've done is I've seared it on both sides. I have found that a lot of people get a little worried about eating raw fish, so I sear it on both sides, so it essentially has a little bit of a cook to it, and it's a little bit more comfortable for most people. So what I'm going to do is put this on the cutting board, and I want to cut this into small bite-sized pieces. So I'm just going to take a knife, and it's a super flaky fish. I'm using this fish for today because it was available at the fish market, but you can also use shrimp, or you can use the imitation crab meat or crab legs, which my family loves. And if you have somebody who's kind of getting into sushi and are brand new with that, that's a really, really good start because it's a little bit less intimidating. So you can see I've got little bite-sized pieces. I'm going to transfer this to a bowl and add in some soy sauce. And you know, you want to use maybe a couple of tablespoons or so. You want the fish to be saturated but not swimming in soy. So I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. Like I said, this is just about 3 to 4 ounces, give or take a little bit. In this bowl, I have imitation crab meat that I have also chopped up finely and mixed in with a little bit of soy sauce. You can use regular soy sauce or the low sodium soy sauce, whichever you prefer. Next we have our star, Philadelphia cream cheese, and I've just taken a regular brick of cream cheese and I've softened it in the microwave, maybe on 20-25 seconds, give or take a little bit. And to that I'm going to add some wasabi. Wasabi is a Japanese horseradish. It's not green, they add green food coloring to make it look good, but it's a regular horseradish. And I'm going to put in about 3 teaspoons to an 8-ounce brick. That is the spice level that we like in our family, so you can adjust this up or down depending on the spice level that your family likes. So I'm going to mix this in a little bit. But see, I have to laugh because I have a good horseradish story. My grandfather, who is Polish, always used to make his own horseradish, and he used to let me help him. So he would take the blender out in the backyard and put it on a picnic table and rig it up, and we would cut up and chop up the horseradish, except because it was so strong, even outside, he always used to make me put my swim goggles on. So just picture this Polish guy outside with a blender on the picnic table and this little girl, curly-haired little girl with swim goggles on. It was hilarious. We always did that before Easter, so kind of a funny story. So every time I think of horseradish, I think about Grandpa in the backyard. Alright, we have this mixed up, and you can see it's a really nice little green color. That's what we're after. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I use to make it easy. I've got a cup, and I've got a zipper bag, and I'm going to add the cream cheese to the zipper bag, just like this. Kind of mush it all in a little bit. An 8-ounce package of cream cheese seasoned with the wasabi will usually fit in a regular quart-size zipper bag. I have a tendency to go for the freezer bags because they're a little more firm than the regular bag. So, okay, and by putting it in the cup, it makes it easy to fill. So I'm going to lift it out, seal it, squish all the air out, finish sealing it, give it a little squeeze so everything winds up in the end and it essentially becomes a pastry bag. Snip off the end, make sure it doesn't get in your tuna, just like that, and set that aside. Now comes the fun part, the easy part, the assembly. I'm going to take cucumber, washed English round cucumber. They say they're seedless, but they really do simply just have fewer seeds on them. And I'm going to cut them into about 1/4 inch thick slices, just like that. I'm going to take my wasabi cream cheese, and I'm going to pipe a little bit right on top like this. Not necessarily decorative, because it's going to be covered up, but you want to have enough cream cheese on there to give it a nice bite and to help hold the other ingredients in. The other ingredients are sushi rice that has been seasoned with sushi rice vinegar. You'll get the complete instructions on the website. And just a little trick I like to use, have a little bowl handy so you can wet your fingers. Take a spoonful of rice, pat it down with your wet fingers, and ease it right on your cucumbers, just like this. So your wet fingers will keep the rice from sticking to you. And if you've ever dealt with sushi rice or sticky rice before, you know that it can be pretty sticky. So again, I wet my fingers a little bit, and I'm going to ease it on, just like this. I'll do one more. And I'm using the fish filling today, but you can really, like I said, use any other types of sushi filling that you think are your favorites. Alright, next we need to add our flavored fish. So I'm going to do a couple with the tuna. And you just kind of want to set it right on top like this. Not too much. They're packed with flavor. So just a little bit on top like that. And then I'm going to make a couple with the crab. Whoops. Had a little knockoff there. Alright, a little bit with the crab. And you can see that the soy sauce really gives it a nice color. Alright, next thing we're going to put on for a little bit of color is some carrot. And I've taken and peeled the carrot. I'm going to use the vegetable peeler again, just to make a few little swipes like this. And I'm just going to kind of curl it right on top like that. This is a really fun project to do with the kids. Basically all you're doing with the carrot is using it as a decorative piece, so you can curl it on top or lay it on top. Sometimes if you've got time you can actually put it in water and they'll curl. And then I have some nori or seaweed. Comes in a package like this in the Asian section of your department store or grocery store. And just sprinkle a little of the seaweed right on top like this. Good stuff. That gives it that ocean flavor. And then for our presentation, I'm going to use one of my sushi plates. And you can just set these right on top, just like this. Aren't they cute? I love it when people say, oh, that's great, it's so easy. And a lot of times when people come home from either my parties or my cooking classes and I give them the recipes, they say, hey, I can make that at home. And I say, yeah, you can. So these are my sushi bites. Like I said, super easy, delicious, ready to go. From my kitchen to yours, enjoy.